The next thing we are going to do is we're going to crop the picture to a certain resolution we can use to upload the pictures on Plain Pictures Net or Airliners Net, for example. To do that, I'm gonna make that window a little bit bigger, that I can see the background, the gray background here. That makes it easier for me to use the crop tool. I'm using the crop tool. You can click on that little icon here for crop tool, or you just hit C on your keyboard, and then you just make a selection around the complete frame of the picture, whole frame of the picture. Then you want to hold down your Alt and Shift key, or just the Shift key, to constrain the proportion, and you're going to shrink the selection down to a certain amount of that, maybe a little too tight crop for that one. So what you want to do is you maybe give it some more space on the left side, that you can actually get some more space on the right side. Just something like that. Make sure you make the plane itself centered in the picture and not too much offset and stuff, because that's going to make it looking weird and stuff later on. Maybe you're going to get a rejection reason, like it's not centered, or motive crop, or something like that, and you just don't want to have that. And particularly on that picture, there are no lines or something, no straightened roofs or whatever to make or to clarify if the picture is level or not. If you get some sort of poles in the background, or you got rooftops, you want to maybe do the same, but just start to rotate your crop and make that level to your picture environment and stuff. So I just screwed that one because I was not using my Shift key to adjust it. Let me do that real quick again. I'm gonna continue the video on that certain spot again. Alright, there we are back with the right crop. And what you want to do is you just hit Enter on your keyboard, and there you go with a crop. Once you've done that, it's time to bring the resolution down to a certain amount to upload the picture. You can do so by clicking on Image and Image Size, or just using the shortcut Alt-Control-I, or I think it's Option-Command-I on a Macintosh. Let me bring up that little window to resize the picture. I'm a fan of high resolution pictures at any database website, so I'm going to use 1200 by 800 and apply that one. I'm going to zoom in and bring the picture up to 100%, and I'm going to duplicate the layer, the background layer here. You can do so by right clicking, or just drag and drop that one into a new layer, or just using the shortcut Control J on a PC, Command J on a Macintosh, I think. And you're going to take the background layer, copy. You go to Filter. You want to go to Filter, Sharpen, and apply Unsharp Mask. That gives you a little window like that. As you can see here, it gives you a humongous boost on sharpness in the picture itself. So I refer the settings that Thomas already figured out for editing pictures, like the radius and the threshold here, like 0.3 and 3 for the threshold. So use these two settings. You can play around with them, sure, of course, but the most definitely thing you want to do is you're going to play around with the amount of sharpness. So that brings you up there, so you can adjust the sharpness of the picture only with the percentage you're using here. So 200 looks pretty fine for me with that picture. Take a closer look every time here and hit OK. What you want to do now is you're looking for jagged lines and stuff in your picture. As you can see, for example, the rings here at the very top of the engine goes into the air intake and stuff. You might want to take out the sharpness a little bit more. So what you want to do is on the background copy layer you just created, you apply a mask by clicking on that little mask icon down here in your layers palette. That applies a little mask to it, and you want to take a normal brush, a soft brush, like a very thin one, like master diameter, something like around 3 or 5. That works pretty good. And you're gonna take a soft one. You do not want to take a hard one, always take a soft one. Apply that settings and zoom in the certain spots in the picture you want to take out the sharpness again, especially here that region around the air intake of the engine. For example, set your foreground color to black because we're working on a white mask. If you would work on a black mask like that, the whole sharpening effect is gone, and you would bring back the sharpness while you're working with white as your foreground color. But we do not do that right now, so we are just working on a white mask. So we're gonna take black to reveal the effect, and we're gonna take white to conceal the effect. So what you want to do is just check your settings for the opacity and flow in your brush. Take 100% for that one in particular. But I always prefer read the tutorial of Thomas on planepictures.net, because he's got some different settings and brush sizes and stuff for example, for the cockpit windows and stuff like that, and markings, and you know, like airline names and all these little cool things. So what you want to do is just roughly brush over these certain spots, just like here and here and here, just going over and take away the sharpness again, and I think the rest looks pretty good here. So bring it back to 100%, and again take a closer look to your picture. As you can see, we get some distorted line here at the very tip of the wing in the back, whereas this USAF. So you're gonna do the same here. I'm gonna take away the sharpness a little bit more, and that's it basically. So I'm gonna take a look at the before and after picture. That was the original one, just resized in 1200 by 800, and this is the edited one with contrast adjustment, toning adjustment, and another layer with your sharpness on it, like unsharp mask layer used in combination with a layer mask. So this is just how it basically works for me. It does not necessarily mean that it's working for you, but I hope I could help you a little bit with that. Now sit down and try to edit your pictures like that. Bye bye.